News 46. Local coverage you can count on.
Happy holidays from your Pahrump Healthcare Partners medical group doctors and staff. Quality care with doctors you know and trust, right here in Pahrump.
Happy holidays!
It seems that drug and alcohol abuse and domestic violence go hand in hand. We're going to speak to Tony Mendoza from Westcare about a PSA that was recently made.
What we're looking at here are some clientele that are part of Westcare, and these are also drug court recipients and people that have graduated from drug court, and they have courageously decided to share their stories in regards to domestic violence. Westcare is wanting to begin a campaign combating domestic violence, and with that, some of the clients volunteered to share some of their stories and how drug abuse basically influences and contributes to domestic violence. So,
and alcohol and drug abuse, they seem to go hand in hand with domestic violence.
Absolutely. As everyone knows, alcohol is an emotional amplifier, and if you're in the midst of being in some sort of aggressive situation, drinking on top of that definitely doesn't help that. Some of our stories from these courageous folks actually elaborate on their experience as young people with their parental figures in their lives abusing them, and just their stories in their life dealing with both alcohol and other drugs.
My name is Arturo Gonzalez. I am a substance abuse counselor here at Westcare. I deal with male clients, in some cases with women. I do have co-ed groups. I also deal with adolescents as well.
My first experience with abuse was my mother went through it. I've seen her all my life since I've lived with her. The husband that she was with abused her. They got into fights all the time. They'd get drunk or do whatever they were doing, and they'd be fighting. We'd wake up and they're fighting. We have no idea what for. And I remember seeing my mom with a black eye one day, and her door was broken. That's what I grew up with, was seeing her get abused. And
I was exposed to domestic violence by my father. You know, he's an alcoholic. He was very abusive to my mother, physically and verbally. You know, I can remember seeing my mom's face in like slow motion when my dad's hand was about to hit her in the face. She already knew what to expect, so to speak.
You know, and it was my stepdad for over 10 years, and he began to beat me when I was 7 or 8 years old. He'd throw me into windows. He'd pin me up against the corner in my room. I couldn't, you know, I was like a prisoner in my own bedroom. The only time I was allowed out was to go to school and come home.
In an alcoholic environment. My stepfather drunk for many years, you know, and it took its toll on the kids, you know. I mean, that's, you know, if I think back, you know, where it was, you know, I mean, the abuse was never towards my mother, but it was a lot towards us kids, and you know, I remember a lot of that, you know. I mean, I tried to stay out of his way, you know, especially when he was drinking.
I became violent at an early age. I hurt people and people hurt me, you know, and I thought that was the way of life.
I had an abusive stepfather. I think he had addiction problems himself. Bloody noses, black eyes, going to school with lies.
Telling us not to make a lot of noise because he'd get mad at her, and his way of keeping me and my little sister from fighting was beating my mother, because that would take attention off whatever was going on between my sister, and we would focus more on my mom, you know what I mean?
As a counselor here at Westcare, my clients have shared on several occasions that most of the reasons of domestic violence has been caused by substance abuse, including alcohol